The US Department of State has created a new program called as Smart Travelers Enrollment Program, also called as S.T.E.P. And this is a very important step for any US citizen who is going to travel to any location abroad, because it actually is going to provide various informations during a moment of need or necessity. We have Carlton Benson from the US Department of State. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. So what exactly S.T.E.P means?
S.T.E.P is the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, PROMOTE, and it's essentially a free digital service provided by the U.S. Department of State through which American travelers or residents in India can sign up with us, provide us with their contact information and their itineraries, and during that window, during the time when they're in India, we can send to them both routine messages and also safety alerts.
Why is it important for any US citizen to enroll into S.T.E.P?
It's very important because we try and stay on top of any kind of dangerous circumstances and inform U.S. citizens who need to know about it in order to remain safe. So when I mention safety alerts, we can, for example, send them messages about, in the event of some kind of a health crisis, evacuation flights. In fact, in April of 2020, the early months of COVID, we arranged 6 evacuation flights on which more than 500 US citizens safely departed India and returned home to the United States. It was only with the S.T.E.P program that we were able to reach them quickly.
And was there a program before S.T.E.P, something like this, and how was it different from the earlier program?
Excellent question. There was indeed a S.T.E.P program before this, but it's actually been revamped in September of this year. So anybody who was registered earlier than September of this year needs to re-register, because all of that older information was not transferred over. So I really want to underline for US citizens that they may well need to re-register now.
And how easy is the re-registering process?
I think that the registration process is quite easy. When you go to step.state.gov, you'll see a little message which says it takes about 20 minutes. If you're really good with systems, it might only take 10. If you're not so good with systems, it might take 20 or even a few more, but it's really quite simple. In fact, a few days ago, I had my son register 2 trips. He did it in way under 20 minutes.
And in this day and age, personal data is something taken very seriously. So what will happen to the data that is going to be fed to S.T.E.Ps by the travelers?
Well, I can tell you that the State Department takes the personal data, the personally identifiable information of any U.S. citizen extremely seriously, and we do everything that we can to protect it. Any of the information that they provide to us through the S.T.E.P program will only be viewed by authorized people like myself who use it to send them emails, which are safety alerts, are routine messages. No one else will see that information, and we will not divulge that information to anyone else unless the person who gave it to us absolutely authorizes us to do so.
So exactly S.T.E.Ps, when would it become useful for the citizens? Because India has like various calamities. Even recently, Chennai had certain natural calamities as well. So what are the situations under which S.T.E.Ps will be useful?
Well, any kind of flooding event, and in this part of India, flooding events are not, unfortunately, uncommon. If there's any kind of civil unrest or demonstrations which might put U.S. citizens in harm's way, we will alert them to that and tell them where not to go to avoid trouble. When there were landslides in Wayanad, we were able to reach out to U.S. citizens there as well. Any kind of situation, a weather event, a political event, which might affect U.S. citizens, we will send a safety alert.
How seriously should the US citizens take S.T.E.P?
I think that they should take it really seriously, and I really want to underline that we strongly encourage them to register in S.T.E.P. And again, if they haven't registered since September of this year, please re-register, because that old information was not transferred over.
And what kind of response S.T.E.Ps would provide during such emergencies?
I think an excellent concrete example was in 2020 when we were arranging evacuation flights for those U.S. citizens who wanted to go home to the United States. It was only through S.T.E.P that we could very quickly reach them with information about the flights and what they needed to do in order to take advantage of the flights.
Well, thank you so much, sir. That was really eye-opening, and I hope all citizens in India taking a visit will take it very seriously.
Thank you. I hope so too. Thank you, Pramod. Yeah.
Please do take it very seriously and get enrolled in STEP while you're traveling abroad. Divya, Pramod Madhav for the train.